If I told you that the way you respond to pressure today was shaped before you ever had a smartphone, would you believe me? Not by therapy, not by motivation, but by boredom, scraped knees, and being left alone with time. If you grew up in the late 1980s or early 1990s, you were trained for a world that doesn't exist anymore. And that training quietly rewired how you handle uncertainty, pressure, and failure. Here's the strange part. Many people from that era seem calmer today, more grounded, harder to shake. And it's not because life was easier back then. It was harder, just simpler. Think about a normal day as a kid. You were sent outside with almost no instructions. No phone, no tracking, no instant help. Just one rule. Be back before it gets dark. For hours, no one knew exactly where you were. And most of the time, nothing bad happened. What did happen was boredom. Long stretches of it. There was nothing to distract you. No alerts, no instant entertainment. So your mind wandered. And when it wandered long enough, it started building things on its own. Games, stories, rules, challenges. That's where problem-solving starts. Not from tutorials, not from advice, but from needing to make something out of nothing. When things broke, you didn't replace them. You tried to fix them. When plans failed, you adjusted. When you fell, you got up. Because staying down was boring. Failure wasn't dramatic. It was normal. And that mattered. If this sounds familiar, I'm curious if you experienced it too. Most parents back then didn't talk much about emotions. They didn't ask how you felt every few minutes. They showed resilience instead. Responsibility came early. Watching younger siblings, making simple meals, figuring things out before you felt ready. You learned a quiet lesson. Life doesn't pause for confidence. That lesson stays. Fast forward to now. The world is louder, faster, constantly demanding attention, and many people feel overwhelmed by it. But if you grew up in that earlier window, something feels familiar. You've been overstimulated before. You've been uncomfortable before. And you survived without an escape button. You couldn't scroll your way out of discomfort. You had to stay with it. That's why pressure today doesn't always knock you over. Your nervous system remembers something stronger than panic. It remembers adaptation. Not comfort, not certainty, but the ability to adjust when things didn't go as planned. Here's what makes your generation different from both sides. You remember life before constant connection, but you also learned how to live with it. You can unplug without fear, and you can use technology without worshiping it. That gives you perspective. You know urgency isn't always real, that waiting isn't dangerous, that silence doesn't mean something is wrong. This isn't nostalgia, it's conditioning. So when someone asks why you stay calm when things fall apart, the answer isn't talent or luck, it's experience. Your childhood didn't protect you from reality, it introduced you to it early. And that's why, even now, you don't get overwhelmed as easily. If this made sense to you, you'll feel at home here. Because this space is for people who don't need constant noise to feel steady.